I'll probably have to tell the story of the labor. It was really funny and just crazy for me. I'm sure it's never uneventful.
When you're that late, you just start doubting everything. You're like, is there really even a baby in there?
She asked you if you wanted me to look, and you were like, yeah, go.
Because Sal loves gross stuff. But like, Sal had kind of a look of horror on his face. Like, he was like, whoa!
Well, I wasn't expecting that.
Today we're going to talk about our birth story. 6 weeks ago we were due, and our baby didn't come, and so we scheduled an induction for a week later, and then on our induction date we went to the hospital, and then we had 4-day labor.
I say it's fine.
5 days. We wanted to tell you what happened from beginning to end and what it was like and what we went through. And there were some funny parts, and there was some sad parts, and there were some scary parts, but all of it was just a wonderful journey. And I know I would go back and redo it because it was just really exciting.
Not me.
So I just want to do it. But you'll do it again for another kid, right?
Yeah, well, sign me up.
We scheduled the induction for Black Friday. They told us that we can come in around 6 o'clock, but we should call at 4 to see if they were full.
Hello. So today is the big day. It is Friday, and our doctor is going to have us induced. And we have about a half hour to get to the hospital. How do you feel, Sal?
Feel great. Fear.
No, it makes me feel better.
The only thing to fear is fear itself.
Yeah.
Teddy told me that.
Teddy?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh, stuff is getting real. We're going to pack the dogs up. I have to say goodbye to Bentley really quick. And we have instructions here for our dog sitter. How to tie them up, how to feed them, how to get them back in their kennel.
We were en route to the hospital probably like around 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were a little bit late, and I was like stressing out that we're gonna be late, and Sal was like, this isn't the kind of thing where you have to be on time.
So like 3 months ago, I told Sal that he needs to pack a daddy bag, and he was like, no, I don't need anything, like I'll just go home and I'll just use what they have there. I don't want to be one of these dads that I see all the time, like they go in for their first kid and they're carrying like all these bags. They have like 10 bags. It's super funny. We have so many bags now. My purse, and then we have my bag that I've had packed for months, and then I have another bag that I had to just pack today with like the tripod and my makeup, and then we have the bag with the baby's clothes in it, and then Sal's bringing a giant comforter. I actually have a bag of groceries. I don't know if you can see them down here with all of our Thanksgiving stuff, because we thought we were going in at 6 today, but instead we're going in at 4, so we didn't get a chance to eat dinner. So we make pre-made plates, and we're just gonna like microwave from there and eat there.
But those leftovers came in handy.
Yeah,
Like, it totally came in handy. Like, you know, we had our own little mini fridge in our room, so. Mm-hmm. And we packed so much food.
So, yeah. Oh yeah, and then Sal has his bag. There's his daddy bag.
Yeah.
It's packed super full. He's bringing all the movies and some of my charge cords, all the stuff I couldn't fit in my bag because my bag was uber heavy.
So we got there, we checked in, and then we were shown to our room.
Hello. So I just went Hurricane Ashley on this hospital room and set everything up and unpacked. Here, I'll give you a little tour. Here I have my husband. Hey, Sal. And then I have my awesome new water cup. And then I put my little toiletry bag in the bathroom. There's the baby's crib. We have my phone charger and camera charger. And this is our snack drawer. We just ordered some chips, and then here are all the snacks we brought. Here's our little mini fridge. We have some coffee for the morning. Oh, we're gonna have to bring some creamer. And then we have the spaghetti that Sal's mom made. This is so much fun. Like, you having fun?
Yeah.
Sal's having fun?
Having tons of fun.
I'm having tons of fun. Like, I feel drunk. Just like off of excitement and happiness.
Your pupils are dilated.
Pupils are fucked up.
So we needed to first get everything started before we could get the labor started, because my cervix wasn't ripened at all.
Before she wanted to do that, she wanted us to take pictures of the baby and to
Yeah,
get an
so
ultrasound.
she said before she gives us any medication, she wants to get the biometric profile or something.
Yeah.
Biometric physical profile, the BPP. So she scheduled for us to go down and see the sonographer. So then we went down to the sonographer. They like wheeled me down in a wheelchair. It was so weird. Never had someone like wheel me somewhere as a mode of transportation. It was really bizarre.
Yeah, they wouldn't let her walk, so we had to wait for somebody to come and get us.
I guess they were checking to see his size, and they also wanted to make sure that he was head down, and they also wanted to make sure that he was practice breathing. They estimated that he was about 9.5 pounds based on all the measurements that she took, and then she said it could be like a pound off.
Or a pound more. And
Yeah.
we were like, whoa, 10 pounds. That's
Yeah,
not fun.
we were hoping it was a pound up in the downward direction. After we went up there, they hooked us up to all the monitors, and they saw that I was already having like little teeny contractions.
I'm having little teeny tiny contractions. Look at the little baby. They're like every 7 minutes. And I can't feel them. They're really small. But they're totally natural. All natural right there. Oh yeah.
That was really exciting because we hadn't even gotten any medication yet. So that made me feel like, oh, my body does kind of know what it's doing.
He did not want to stay still.
Yeah. So it was like a huge challenge for her to keep the heart rate and find the heart rate.
He, like, we've been chasing him around and he doesn't want to, like, be found out.
He doesn't want to be evicted.
Yeah, he knows we're kicking him out.
But some of the nurses pretty much had to come in every 10-15 minutes, and half the time, like, you could look at the paper and there's just like little teeny dots where they got a reading and there wasn't like a continuous line of readings. So I have like a tilted uterus, so they have to like reach all the way in there and then go down.
The nurse just came in and said that since I was scared of getting the thing that's supposed to ripen my cervix, that they're just going to give me a pill that might do the same thing. We told them we want the thing that they originally were planning on, even though we're being scared. So I don't think they're going to give me anything to help with the fear or the pain.
And I had the laughing gas, but they didn't give me any numbing gel or anything, and it like super hurt. Like I was like squirming, like squeezing Sal's hand, like oh my gosh, it was horrible. And I was like, man, if this hurts, like I'm definitely getting an epidural. With the laughing gas, it's really hard to use it with mask. This mask, it like covered your whole face, and like every time you breathe into it, the whole mask like rumble vibrates, and then when you breathe out, you feel like it doesn't go anywhere, and then you feel like you're just breathing in the same air you exhaled, and it just makes you feel like super claustrophobic and like you're not getting oxygen. Here I was like holding his mask on my face, like thinking about taking it off, but trying to hold it on and like breathing, and finally like I took it off and I felt like great, like kind of dizzy and kind of weird, and I was like, okay, it's working. I'm gonna put it back
She
on.
was giggling.
And then,
Totally giggling.
I mean, it still hurt while it was happening, but I just didn't feel panicked. And I was like, okay, I see why this is called laughing gas.
When they started doing all this stuff, I just felt like so freaked out. Like I don't know why. It just like hurt and it was scary. It was mostly just scary. But then I took like a really big swig of the laughing gas and it totally helped.
You mean inhale?
Whatever. Took a hit. Man, that shit was crazy.
You're like, I couldn't. I want to laugh so hard.
Well, then the lady starts giving me all these instructions. She was like, the next step is this, and if you feel this, let us know, and we're waiting for this to happen and this to happen. I'm just sitting there just like, I felt like a rubber ducky. Like I didn't know if I was smiling. I was just like trying to keep a straight face. I was not listening. But I knew I was supposed to just like nod and stuff. And then she finished talking and I was just like, oh my God, I'm fucked up. And Sal was really sweet and held my hand, even though I felt like a dork holding his hand. I was like holding one finger. The next step is to give me the sleeping medicine, which is just like Benadryl. I think Sal and I are going to watch a movie here. And probably around midnight, Sal's going to go back home and let the dogs out one last time for the night. And then put them back in their cages. And he's going to come back here and sleep on this little couch. Poor guy.
That night we kind of slept okay. The Benadryl stuff they gave me didn't really knock me out as much as the morphine they ended up giving me a couple days later. So like a couple times they came in to like find the baby's heart rate, and I definitely woke up during that time. Now we had a dog sitter, but we didn't know how long we were going to be there. And so we were like, let's use the dog sitter when we're in labor and we can't get away. But like while we could get away, like if I was just resting, Sal could just like come back to the house really quick and let the dogs out. And that way, if we're there for like ever, which we ended up being there forever, we don't have this dog sitter just like coming to our house 4 times a day for 5 days straight.
But it worked out great because all I did was just come, let them out, you know. I also picked up stuff that we needed or that we forgot, or if we wanted extra movies, or so
yeah, we had a ton of movies. So yeah, we watched a movie that night. It was actually really bad. What was that movie we watched with Katherine Hagel?
The Ugly Truth.
The Ugly Truth. Oh my god, it was horrible.
Maybe in the night some stuff will start happening. Otherwise, 12 hours from when they administered the Cervidil, which was 9:30. 9:30 tomorrow morning, they're going to check my cervix and see if everything looks good. If it doesn't look good, they're going to do it all over again. And then we'll wait another 12 hours.
So the next morning, Sal went to let the dogs out and I ordered breakfast. And they were like, "Are you feeling like your contractions? Are they like painful at all?" Because they could see that my contractions were kind of going during the night. And I was like, "No, there's no pain." And they're like, "Well, you've made no progress if you're not in pain."
We had an okay night. I woke up probably like 7 times. And I felt like maybe my water had broke, but I guess it was not my water. And in the morning, they checked me. And it made just a little bit of progress, but nothing too big.
And then they called our doctor, and they were like, "She hasn't made any progress. What do you want to do?" And the doctor's like, "Let's just keep going forward with the induction. Like, give her the stuff to start her contractions, and hopefully once her contractions start, then that'll get everything else ripened and going. Like, let's just get started."
Didn't they do an IV that day?
Yeah, they did an IV because that's how you administer the Pitocin.
They're going to start me this morning, trying to get my contractions going, and hopefully that'll make other stuff start getting ready also. So they put in an IV and they're just getting me started on the contraction starter, and they're just monitoring me. Sal and I are gonna watch a movie while we just wait. They let me use the laughing gas while they put in my IV, which is good because it's freaking terrifying. It's so gross. Here, I'll show you. So many tubes, shiny and gross. And there's the IV. We're just gonna watch Knocked Up. We watched a movie with Katherine Hagel in it this morning or last night, and it was so bad. Did you think it was bad? So I was laughing.
They put in the IV because their doctor said, "Let's go ahead at the Pitocin. We're gonna do a high dose of Pitocin." That means they're gonna start with like 4 and then go to 8 and then go to 16 or something. Like they were gonna be moving up the units of the drug at a quick pace. So then I started feeling contractions, which was exciting because I hadn't really been feeling them very much. But it is about 1:40 and we're hooked up to the Pitocin and we're watching Knocked Up and having some steady contractions. They're not too bad, but I can definitely feel them more than before. It looks like they're doing 8 units of oxytocin, so they've gone up once since they've started. It's just going super well and hopefully I'm making some progress. 3 o'clock, that's when our other nurse came. She was really funny. She was like, "Are you comfortable? Here's another pillow." And at the end, we had like 13 pillows. Like, other nurses would come in and be like, "Why do you guys have so many pillows? Oh my gosh." But again, it wasn't really busy, so they were like, "Okay, whatever, you can just keep up."
I think he wants to be changed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's fussy and he's fussy like this, and he says, "Have some change."
Okay. Do you want to change from that little story? She checked, and I was hoping that we'd be like 1 centimeter dilated or something. And again, there was no progress. There was like no dilation. She said that my cervix was super duper soft, which is like the first step, but really needs to just open up so baby can come out. She was like, "Well, I'm going to ask your doctor what she wants to do." So she called the doctor, and our doctor said, "Let's do the cytotech. Let's do the pill that you take every 3 hours, 8 pills, so like 24-hour period." Saturday night, we started with cytotech, and it kind of made us kick ourselves because that's what we were supposed to do the night before. So they gave us this pill, and the nurse was also like, "You know, you should take some morphine. You're going to sleep a lot better. That way, like, if you have contractions, that will help you deal with the pain." And I was kind of wary. I was like, "Well, what if I go into labor in the middle of the night? Am I going to be all tired and weird from the morphine? I won't be able to perform." And she was like, "Don't worry about that. This is probably going to take a while."
So it is 4 o'clock. I just met my newest nurse. She's super nice. And I told her that I was kind of sad that tonight we were going to be working on still ripening my cervix and that we were kind of going backwards. And she was like, "No, there is no backwards. Like, we're just taking a rest and your body needs a rest. And sometimes during the rest, amazing things happen. So there's just different steps and different levels of progress. There's no such thing as going back." So It was so nice. She just made me feel so good, and then she offered to make me some toast, which is definitely the way to my heart. So Sal's taking the dogs out, and I'm just standing. I haven't been standing all day. Well, I did take a little walk.
But that night was kind of uneventful.
Had kind of a weird night. I opted to get morphine, and I slept like a freaking rock all night, so that was amazing. But I feel totally weird now. Like, I feel really jittery. I feel like I just had like a ton of coffee, and I just got hit with some nausea. Morphine is a hell of a drug, I guess.
And in the morning, I felt like super hungover. Like, I felt nauseous, and I felt really dizzy, like I hadn't eaten in like 10 years. And so I was like, whoa, I don't want any more of that morphine. That sucks. I don't want to feel weird, because I hadn't been drunk or like caffeine buzzed. I hadn't had anything for like 10 months or 9 months, and so it felt really bad to feel like under the influence. It was really weird.
We got our room all set up, so it's like a fresh day in here. Hoping to maybe make some progress. It sounds like I have 3 more pills I have to take, so that's 9 hours right there. So probably nothing, not going to do anything exciting until 5, unless my body does something exciting on its own. Probably just gonna spend a day hanging out, watching movies. The monitor situation's a little weird. They're like, don't worry about the monitors, you just do you, we'll do the monitors. But then they're like, get back on the bed, get back on the bed. I think I just need to take short little breaks when I get a chance. Like, if I go to the bathroom, maybe I'll just like stand up for a couple extra minutes and not be mad at Sal when he tells me to get out of bed. Because I'm kind of like, you get out of bed!
And Sal was like in and out, like going to help the dogs and coming back and hanging out when he could.
Miss the dogs. Wish the baby was here, but I kind of can't imagine it going any other way. So I'm pretty happy with how things are going, even though it's really, really, really slow and seemingly unproductive. So yeah, I'm just going to order some food because I'm super dizzy, and then I'll update you as soon as I hear anything.
But I started feeling like super discouraged.
It is Sunday at 5 o'clock in the evening. It's been a really weird day. I felt like super hungover this morning from the morphine they gave me. And then I felt super positive because it just felt like, you know, this is day 3. There's no way it's going to take longer than this. And like the sun was out. It was so beautiful out. Like, I had the windows open and the sun was coming in all day, and I just like laid in the sun and I bounced on the ball and I tried to go on walks and try to be nice to nurses, and then all of a sudden like I hit E just in the Hope department and like just got super depressed and discouraged and bummed out and just really frustrated with everybody. I mean, with Sal, with the nurses, with my doctor, with myself, with the baby, just everything just sucked. I think I've even been like a bitch to my friends on my texts. Just everybody trying to help just makes everything worse, and I think that's probably how every mother feels when she's in labor. Although I don't even get the luxury of being in labor. I have to sit praying for labor to come when it's not coming.
That was probably the saddest day for me, and I was like, wow, we've been here all weekend and we're still like at 0 progress. And then they started even talking about sending us home, and she said that there were like receptors, and the receptors were saturated, so like if we went home, then I could just chill out and like let things clear out, and then maybe the receptors would just get going on their own after being stimulated all this time, or maybe we could come back and then we could try again. I don't know, I was kind of unclear on what the next steps were. And I noticed that they kind of don't know the next step until they see where you're at.
This latest nurse talked with my doctor, and they said that there's a chance they might send us home, which I'm also not excited about. You know, I packed this hospital bag and I planned this hospital stay, and I'm super late. I don't want to go home and do all this again. I don't want to go home and wake up every morning and 100 times each night hoping that I'll go into labor. It's just, I'm so sick of this. And everybody probably thinks I'm a horrible person because I'm just so miserable. I'm guessing they just want to get me out of here because I'm such an asshole, which I don't blame them. I'm going to get checked in like 3 hours, so I'm just going to sit between now and then and be crabby and hate myself and hate the world.
That evening, we had our nurse that ended up being like one of our favorites. She was like, you know, let's just check and see where you're at. Because we were nearing the end of that 24-hour thing. After I went the 24 hours of the Cervidil, then they were like, let's check you and see if you made any progress. And finally, things started to change and ripen.
So finally got some good news. Right now it's 9. At 7 I had my cervical exam. So I finally dilated. It's only she said, a tight centimeter. Oh my God, it's such a relief. I know it's a really small feat, but it really means so much and just gave me the teeny bit of hope that I needed. We were so excited that we were 1 centimeter dilated. The ripening had started. We could start thinking about the next step. She felt around and estimated that I'm like 70% thinned out. They were thinking of sending us home. And so then she came back after talking to her doctor and said, we're gonna try this other thing that really helps people get started. They were like, well, maybe let's try to do a teeny bit more ripening, and they're gonna try a new way of ripening, and that's by just intravenously administering a small dosage of Pitocin. They said they're going to do 2. Yesterday we did Pitocin, but we did increments of 4 to go up to 20. So now we're just going to do a steady 2. And she said what that does is that's going to finish ripening up my cervix. It's not going to get me started with contractions like what they were trying to do the other day. We had hope finally, and we saw progress finally, and then we had this great plan, and we were so relieved we didn't have to go home. And so they started us with a low dose. They also gave me morphine. She was like, you're going to want to sleep. You might start feeling some pain. So go ahead and do that. We got the Pitocin, got the morphine, and we watched more movies.
Yeah, we did.
And I'm already having contractions, and they're actually feeling a little different. Before I couldn't even feel them, like, so it didn't feel that uncomfortable. But now they're actually starting to feel like kind of like numbing and kind of makes me want to wreathe in my seat. But I still wouldn't say they hurt. In fact, I kind of think it feels good. They're about 10 minutes apart, if that. Every once in a while I feel like it's been longer than 10 minutes and I realized I had them, but it was just really little. Hopefully with this little bit of Pitocin, it'll help get my contractions a little more serious, and then hopefully it'll finish thinning me out, and then I can dilate more. It is Monday, November 27th, and it is 10:45 a.m. We had just a whole bunch of good luck last night. We had this amazing nurse. She convinced everybody to let us stay the night, and in the morning, my cervix had done all the good stuff we wanted it to do. They were getting stronger and stronger contractions, and the baby was doing fine. I was able to walk around with the monitors on. So we continued with Pitocin today. We're just increasing it small increments. Right now I'm at about 12 mini units or whatever an hour. Whew. And I'm able to stand up, which is amazing, and I'm able to cope with the contractions just by kind of wiggling around a lot, and no swearing, no crying, no sweating. So it's the most I could ask for. So I just ran to the bathroom, and the nurse is getting the paperwork for the epidural. Just upped the Pitocin level, so we're gonna see if that can maybe get me dilated. And then once I'm dilated to like a 4 or something, then they can give me the epidural and I can get in bed and lay down and be lazy and maybe take a nap. Super excited. Next step is checking my cervix. Dealing with the contractions isn't getting easier, it isn't getting harder, it's just, it is what it is. I'm getting along with Sal really well, which is super important to me. And around 11:15, Sal was like, I'm gonna go get some food. He went down to the cafeteria, and at like 11:20, started feeling like, ooh, this pain like really sucks. And so Sal was still gone getting lunch, and I like laid on the bed, and she was like, oh wow, you're like at a 4. And then she was like, oh wow, your water just broke. And then Sal came back with like a plate of food. I was like, leave your food. Oh my God, it's Sal getting started. I can't believe you left. Like, oh my gosh, okay. And he came and stood next to me while like all the water was draining out. I was just like, okay, well now it's starting to really hurt. I totally want the epidural. So they gave me the saline, and that went through kind of quickly.
Like 20 minutes it was done.
Yeah, like 20 minutes it was done, and then they called the anesthesiologist. It was like noon, and the pain like really started to suck. I had been in the bed, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to handle this without walking around. So she gave me the gas. The pain was getting worse and worse and worse, and then she was like, well, when the anesthesiologist comes, you can't be using the gas. And I was like, what am I going to do? And she's like, just breathe through it. And I was like, oh my God. When the anesthesiologist came, she like grabbed the gas and put it away. Cal and the nurse came and like stood on either side of me, and the anesthesiologist was to my back. And I was like leaning forward. The pain was just like out of control and it hurt so bad. And I think it was just that hour from like 11:30 when my water broke to 12:30 when I got the epidural, where it was just like utter pain. I was having contractions while he was doing the epidural stuff. I was kind of scared to get the epidural, but it didn't hurt at all, especially compared to what was going on. Well, after I got the epidural, then I felt like really relaxed. I felt like I needed to just like close my eyes and just like regroup and like meditate. He kind of made me sleepy. I went to sleep, and when I woke up, like everything was set up. It was a weird sleep. Like I would like open my eyes and like look over and see Sal like on his phone, just hanging out. And then I'd close my eyes and wake up, and the nurse would be setting some stuff up. Like it wasn't like a knocked out sleep. It was more of like an in and out of sleep. One of the times when I was coming out of the sleep, I felt like this like weird pressure, and I was just like, what's going on? I guess I've been sleeping for about 2 hours. It must have been like 2:15. I was like, I think I feel something, and the nurse was like, oh really, let me check. So she lifted up a little sheet. She's like, oh well, I
I think I know what you feel.
She asked you if you wanted me to look, and you were like, yeah, go.
Because Sal loves gross stuff. But, like, Sal had kind of a look of horror on his face. Like, he was like, whoa!
Well, I wasn't expecting that, and I wasn't expecting the way
What did you
it looked.
expect it to look like?
Well, I thought it would be like a half a water balloon, you know, like just like the edge of a water balloon sticking out. But no, it was like the whole water balloon was out, and the little piece that's at the end of it was still inserted. And I'm just like, whoa!
So what are you
not
seeing?
seeing that.
So it looked like 2 sacks?
Yeah.
Sal said it looked like a scrotum.
Yeah.
And he couldn't
Like,
keep a straight face.
totally
He was
clear scrotum.
He freaked out. I'll never forget what he said. He was like, you can see through it.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, okay, that means the baby's like right there. She was super calm. So she called my doctor, and the doctor said she's on her way. And then she called, I think, the resident. That person came in, and she introduced herself, and she was like, I'm going to help you have the baby. Is that cool? I was just
First she
really
asked.
excited because I was like, dang, this morning I didn't think anything was going to happen. And now all of a sudden we're having this baby. It's been like 5 hours. It was like 2:30. My doctor wasn't there yet. And the nurse was like, let's just start pushing. Then Sal's phone started to ring. I was like, is that your cell phone? Why do you have your phone on you? And he's holding my leg. And the other nurse was holding my leg. And the resident was down his phone. He's like, it's your mom. And I was just like, dude, just don't answer it. He did like a couple pushes. And Sal counted to 10, like at a nice even pace. And then I took a breath. And then he counted to 10 and I pushed. And then I took another breath and he counted 10 and I pushed. We did that 3 times for each contraction.
Yeah, you were pushing through the counts.
It's just, it helped keep everything really organized. And the time just flew by. Like, we did a couple of those and I looked and it had been like 10 minutes. But they were like, wow, you're making great progress. Whoa, oh my
You
gosh.
could see his head.
And like, my body started pushing, so I just had to kind of like join in. It was just really weird feeling. They kept losing contraction monitor, so they couldn't really tell when I was having a contraction. And then all of a sudden I feel like movement, almost like, you're like, oh God, I have to go to the bathroom. Like, that's what it felt the baby. Like,
You mean
I
like
felt
prairie dogging?
yeah, I felt like I was prairie doggy. And I was like, oh, time to push. and so I told the nurses, like, okay, push. And then Sal did the counting. So every time I had the prairie dog feeling, then I knew to push. And I didn't even need the monitors, which is good because the monitors weren't working anyways when it came to my contraction. 3 o'clock, so about a half hour pushing. Phone started ringing. The phone next to my bed.
Phone started ringing, and then they thought it was the doctor calling because
Oh, so
she
that
was
was
on her
before.
way. That was before
That's
she
not a
showed
red
up.
And so the nurse left my side and walked around the bed and picked up the phone. Was at the front desk.
No, it was your mom.
Heard the nurse say, like, Ashley is unavailable right now. I can't give you any information. It's not a good time. I'm sorry, but we have to go. I can't tell you anything. And she hung up. And she was like, yeah, it's your mom. Your mom's coming. And I was just like, what the heck? I told her, we'd call you when we want you to come. And so then she, like, returned to my side. We continued pushing. And then, like, 15 minutes later, then my doctor showed up.
At this point, you were crowning.
Oh.
Yeah, the resident helped you a lot to get you to that point.
The doctor, like, suited up, and then she came in. Then they were like, okay, this is the last one. And then he, like, popped out. Like, it was this really weird feeling.
He's all looking around like... he was like knowing what's going on.
Yeah, he wasn't crying.
He
when
wasn't
came
crying.
out.
And then everybody
eyes
was
were
surprised.
open.
Yeah, everybody was like, whoa. Hey. And like, they shake him because they're like, okay, so he should start crying because, I mean, he was just so awake. And he's like, I hate you.
Yeah, so after they shook him, then he started crying. His little arms were out like this, and I just remember like staring at him. And then I looked at Sal, and Sal had a little tear in his eye, and I felt myself just cry like one tear.
They were like, you ready to cut, Dad? I'm like, yeah.
I could see. I feel like they kind of like tossed him because they were like down by my legs.
Oh, yeah, they did toss
They just
him.
threw him up my whole torso, and they landed on me. And I remember just looking at him like, who are you? Like, I thought I would recognize him for some reason. I thought he would, like, look like this face that I knew in my heart or something. But I remember seeing this, like, totally new weird face I'd never imagined.
He looked like a frog.
It was, like, super slimy.
He looked like a toad.
Well,
Like,
'cause
his
he
lip was
he
all
did
out.
look like a toad.
His lip was all out.
Well, because
and
he has, like, a really olivey complexion.
It was hilarious.
It
Oh,
was
you're looking
so
at me? I'm
cute.
sorry.
It
buddy.
was
I
so
didn't mean
cute.
it. I didn't mean
And
it.
I felt like he was up there forever.
They didn't take him up.
Yeah, they just set him up there, and then they, like, stitched me up
Then
in
you
the
had another
outside door.
visitor at the door.
And while she's sewing me up, there's like a knock at the door, and so the nurse goes and answered it, and my mom's there. And for the 3rd time, she's interrupted labor. They're just like, yeah, this isn't a good time. Like, just go wait in the waiting room. I guess talking to my mom, like, she wasn't trying to be pushy. Like, I guess they were like, do you need help? We'll help you. Like, the front desk kept offering to get in touch with us. I felt like they were sewing me up forever. It must have been like 20 minutes.
Well, yeah. And,
Maybe a half hour.
And then also they were cleaning you up and they were waiting for your placenta to come out before all that.
Everything was simple, quick, and easy after we got everything going. when they finished sewing me up, then I think they took him away and like just wiped him off. Then Sal went and got my mom, and she came in and she held the baby, and it was just so funny that she was so determined. And I'm really glad she got to see him because she had a 4-hour drive.
And baby knew his grandma was waiting.
Yeah. Sal's parents were like around the area because they live out in the suburb. I think his parents came around like 5. They came for a quick visit and they like took some pictures with the baby. The baby stayed awake until 8, so he was up for like 5 hours straight right after he was born. And then he needed to eat all the time. He was so cute in some of the pictures. He has like a little milk ring around his mouth. Yeah, and milk beard. So that night we had tons of nurse care. They came in every hour or so to get our vitals. I think we used the dog sitter, so you were able to stay by my side. And our dog sitter went and took care of the dogs for us. Thank you so much, Reese. So for the first half of the night, I fed him every 2 hours, and then I fell into like a super deep sleep for like 6 hours. The nurse came in at like 6 a.m. and was like, when was the last time the baby ate? And I realized it had been like 4 hours. She said, you should try to feed him now. They're really good at like not making me feel like a bad parent or like I was screwing up. They saw Sal's little book on like how to be a prepared dad, and they're like, whoa, I can see he's an overachiever. I could tell she was very impressed by Daddy and his dedication.
It's natural.
Yeah. Tuesday, the day after he was born, Sal went and let the dogs out in the morning. The baby got his first bath, and they actually showed us how to do it. They gave us a nice little tutorial, which was cool. And this lady came by and she gave the baby a little blessing, and then we had a lactation consultant come and she checked to see how his latch was, and she helped me hand express a little bit. But yeah, look who's here. Little buddy. He is so cute and so good. He's so good. Like, everyone keeps commenting that he's not crying. He's so patient. Like, he's so patient. Like, when we're trying to latch, we just keep trying and trying and trying, and he doesn't get mad. Like, I get so frustrated. And the lactation consultant came, and she was like testing his suck, and she like had her finger in his mouth, and he just sat there like contently sucking. And she's like, man, he's a really good demonstrator, because she had a trainee with her. And so he was like showing how you can have a tongue tie and still be a strong sucker. Oh, don't be sad. Are you sad because your ear don't? Like Dopey? Mommy's bad here. Let's fix that. Oh, much better. So yeah, we had a couple visitors.
The visitor for the schools.
Yeah, we had someone
So
come
many
and
visitors.
tell us about ECFE classes and daycare and St. Paul Public School. So then we also called our photographer, because I had met a photographer on Facebook, and she said that she does a special session within the first 48 hours that the baby's born. I can't remember what it's called, but they come and they take pictures of the baby in the hospital, sort of like just candid shots just to capture the moment and the family can remember it. We had the photographer come in, and she was so nice and really professional and super patient, and we were trying to get ourselves figured out. We had to like, Sal ran around and cleaned up the room really quick, and I think I was like still like breastfeeding when she came in. So we had to like pull our stuff together really quick, which was stressful. And then we had like back-to-back stuff going on that day. It was really stressful leaving the next day, because again, we had stuff going on all morning, like people we were talking to and trying to stay on our schedule, and then we had to like pack on top of that. Yeah. And that was like really hard. And then they checked my vitals and my blood pressure was really high, and they're like, you need to just sit down. And the baby started crying because he wanted to eat, and Sal was like packing up all his stuff, and my stuff still to get packed. And I was like, how am I supposed to sit down? I have like 100 things going on right now. But I had to just lay there and do nothing while Sal ran around and did everything and took care of the baby simultaneously somehow. So yeah, that was my first lesson in motherhood, like that helpless feeling you have sometimes when you gotta take care of yourself, even though everything else is going crazy around you. And you have to just I had to try to just be calm and like let my blood pressure go down, which was really hard to do when my mind was racing.
All right, well, here it is. It's our last day in the hospital. Baby's wearing his second choice outfit because we had a little pee explosion on the first one. I'm actually really gonna miss this bed here.
So yeah, we got out at 3 p.m. right when we wanted to, and they walked us out to the car, and I sat in the back with him. We got him all bundled in, and then we got home, and he just slept. He slept probably until like 6 or 7, and the dogs were really excited about him. They went and like stood by his little bassinet and just like kind of whined and looked at him.
Super gentle.
Yeah, they were very gentle.
Very surprising.
Mm-hmm. We were worried that they'd be jumping on him and we'd have to like have him on leashes and contain him, but they were really cool and kind of chill and just more curious. And
it looks like they kind of knew what was going on.
Yeah, like they were like looking,
natural instincts.
They were like looking around for him.
Well, and then you wouldn't come home. You know, you hadn't been home for a while.
I hadn't been home in 5 days.
So they knew it. You know, you were off somewhere.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they were pretty mellow. We were very grateful. Yeah, picking out a baby.
Picking out a baby, yeah.
Yeah, so all in all, it was really fast once it got started. And we had really, really, really good care. And I think we were a pretty good team.
I think you were amazing.
That was super tough.
You did everything. You were cooperative. I think you were like one of the better people that everybody at the hospital has dealt with.
Oh,
because like you know, there's like people that are just like, no, I'm not gonna push.
Guilty.
You know, and like you did it. You know, you took advice and you took their suggestions, and yeah, I don't know. I think you were really great.
You were really great too. That was so nice. He like let me have the whole room to myself. So he'd like go and use the bathroom out in the hall, and he always cleaned up everything. He brought me coffee every day. We had our own coffee from home that was delicious, our favorite coffee. And yeah, you were amazing too.
Oh.
And then the star here, Mr. Charlie. Can you show him to the camera?
And Mr. Charles.
Yeah, Charles Miguel de la Luz Reza. Oh, he's being really peaceful right now. He's so good in the hospital. Everyone commented how good he was. Even when he brought him to the doctor for his first checkup, and when the nurse came here, everyone just compliments us and like how chill he is and how cooperative he is and how adorable he is.
It's a defense mechanism.
It's survival technique. Yeah, say hi.
Hi to the world.
Buddy. I'm just a baby.
Big baby.
We thought he was gonna have a lot of hair, but he doesn't have it much on top. He has just some going on in the back. And he was born at 325 at 8 pounds 1 ounce. His head was like 15 centimeters circumference, or is it inches? Centimeters. And what else? His length, I think it was 20 something. I wrote it all down.
That was 20 inches.
20 inches. Yeah, he's a really good baby, and I definitely understand why we were so impatient. Like, it was so hard to wait, and like now that we hang out with him all the time, I see why, because he was definitely worth the wait. And looking at him, it just erases all the memory of pain. I know they always say that, but I don't even remember any pain. I mean, it's hard to even describe it. I was watching the vlogs, and you can't tell in there how much pain it was. Just the happiness overshadows everything. Yes, Haley.
You know, it prepares you for the next time.
All right, well, thank you so much for watching. We will keep you posted on all the baby stuff. And hopefully he doesn't get really mad at us when he's a grown-up for having all this information about him online.
Oh, dang, I didn't even think of that.
All right.
Yes. Okay. One last feed in my bed. crazy bed where so much shit went down. Not literally.